Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. Happy bye week to you all. All right, have you all seen the HBO Max series called Rap Shit? Well, guess what? The first season just wrapped up and everyone is loving it. The fans are becoming more and more in love with it, myself included. And if you haven't seen it, you gotta binge it right now. The full season, like I said, all available on HBO Max. It follows two high school friends who come back together in Miami. They start a rap group and then enters this over-the-top, wild, amazing manager slash booker, party promoter, pimp, all the things. And that character, also called the Duke of Miami, is played by Jonica Booth. Jonica proudly identifies as bisexual, and I am so excited to be chatting with her right now. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. How are you?
Good. Or gotta say, congrats on Rap Shit. I mean, the thing is, season 1 just finished, but people are loving it, and I feel like even more people are stumbling upon it now. I mean, I know this kind of was a dream role for you to get. You pushed hard to get it. We'll talk more about that. But I mean, what's it like for you to see the fans just eating up this series?
Oh man, I love it. I actually, it's funny watching how they feel about my character, the ones that don't like it. And I'm like, I'm agreeing with them. Like, yeah, I don't know what she's up to, you know? Kind of dope.
So your character is a lesbian on the show, but what I love is, and I know that it's gotta feel pretty cool at this point, you know, because we all, of course, got to know you with Bad Girls Club, but here you are as Jonica, the actor, which I love. You know, what is it like for you to be in this great show, of course, from Issa Rae, but also to be playing a super cool, interesting, dynamic queer character?
I love it. And I felt like because it's not who I totally am, I'm like, okay, I need to do it some justice. Cause I don't, I wanted the more dominant lesbians to feel like, oh, she met Duke. I feel like I'm Duke. I wanted to represent that properly, but by that not being me, it's funny that everyone looks at it and say, oh, this was easy for you to play. And I'm like, no, like it was not. It was fun, yes. Easy, no, not at all.
Not all queer people are the same. So yeah, it's not me.
Like, no.
I do love, so how would you describe how, if anyone hasn't stumbled upon this show yet, which you're crazy, and like I said, it's from Issa Rae, it's on HBO Max. Your character really is, I think, so many of the tweets that I see say that you steal the show, you steal the scene. How would you describe how the Duke of Miami kind of finds herself in this interesting story with a lot of great music?
Duke is just making her way, she wants to touch everything. She wants her hand in everything, and everything that she's into, like being a manager and being a pimp, and finding somewhere to stay and being cool with the promoters. Duke is she's always finessing and trying to get in where she fit in. And I don't know, what was the rest of that question?
No, I think that's it. I mean, just about like how does she fit into all this? Because there's a lot of good stuff. Like I mentioned the music, and I think for you, your character is a part like in the center of all that. But like this show actually has really good music. It's not just kind of like this fake music in the background, right?
Yes, the music, Anthony, listen, the soundtrack, oh my gosh, I actually listened to it. It's great music, it's great artists, it's artists that some of the artists Issa's putting on, her and Serena, which is the showrunner, they chose to put these artists on, and the music, sheesh, I actually like it. And the songs that Mia and Shauna have, my bitch that Nan Better, they got that one, then they got another one. Like their two songs are actually songs that we will listen to, in our everyday lives.
For sure. I mean, the soundtrack is on fire for sure. But what I think is interesting is at GLAAD, our mission is to make sure that there are accurate, inclusive, diverse storylines on television and in film and beyond. So because we know how important these are for the community, but for the rest of the world to see as well. I think that there's still not enough interesting, diverse representation for queer people of color. So for you to be bringing this character to life and hopefully getting the community to be, start some new conversations about what it means to be someone who is a lesbian or bisexual, who's also a person of color. What do you hope that people that see this maybe start, what conversations do you hope that they start after seeing this?
What I do want to say, to touch the music part really quick, is there are a few lesbians that created some songs and then produced, or they had their hand in, and a girl named Pineapple, then you got City. Like, to see them, step into this and Issa give you a chance, like, that's what I love, that she's given a chance. It's not based off your sexuality or anything. She's like, look, if you're dope, you can come. Simple as that. And I love that, because we are so judged in the community. In the full community, we're all judged, and some people might not want to work with you, which is weird to me, because why does who I matter, who I sleep with matter?
Right.
Like, what I do in my personal life really affects jobs and the way that you're perceived, which shouldn't matter. So I like that. I appreciate being a part, and I appreciate Issa and have more of a respect for her for taking that chance of, like, look, they're dope. I don't care who they sleep with, how they dress, none of that. They're good. They're making this show amazing. Let's keep them. So I respect that. But like you say, to be a part and to be bisexual, and the same way, I feel like, you giving me a chance, and it's not about, I don't know, Anthony, isn't it weird? Like, it's not about what we do in our personal life. Like, why does that reflect our work? You're still good at what you do, whether you are into no matter who I choose to love,
That's right. And I think, on that point, can you imagine if when you were younger, growing up, kind of finding yourself, if you would have been able to turn on the TV and see this show and see, the Duke of Miami living herself, her life and confident, what would that have meant for you as a younger person as you were kind of finding your way?
It would have just felt like, oh, it's okay. It's normal, because although I'm not Duke, but when I seen people, more dominant lesbians growing up, it was like far-fetched, like, oh no, like, she got to go to church, but it's like she's fine, but they didn't show that to me growing up. So I didn't get a chance I didn't get to think that it was normal. But why can't that be normal for that person, or to see, it was a guy in my 3rd grade class, and I always thought, I'm like, oh, he's going to be gay, but I was sad for him, because he couldn't live in his truth. And we were in 3rd grade, and I seen that, but he couldn't live in his truth. And it's like, no, we didn't see that around. Everyone laughed at him and pointed, but it's like, nowadays, I love that we're putting that on TV, and we putting it out there, so that not just us, other shows, and they're accepting it more, because there are kids out there who resonate and who feel like, well, what about me? It goes from being a Black girl who didn't see many Black dolls at first. Then I started seeing Black baby dolls, and the WNBA basketball baby doll was the cutest thing for me, because I played basketball, and I'm like, oh shit, we got a Barbie doll that have on a W that play basketball, so it made me feel good. So imagine that for the kid that does identify with the queer community,
I love that. It's so important, all of those things. For you, you talk about being bisexual. Tell me a little bit about your journey to that discovery of yourself and that self-acceptance, because I think it's important as we, are here in Bi Week, that we hear the stories of people who are doing great things like yourself, that, found that part of themselves and totally embrace it and talk about it.
Oh man, Anthony, I wish I had like a better come out story. But I don't. So my story is, I was dating this guy, and then I ended up dating one of my best friend at the time. It turns out it was confessed that somehow I figured out that she liked me, and I said, oh well, I like you too, because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But I didn't know if I truly felt that way. I was like, well, why not? Sure. Like, I do like her, but I didn't know I liked her like that. After that, I began dating women, and I was like, oh, I'm bi. Like, I have to accept that, but I didn't come out to my family. But in my defense, I didn't tell them that I was straight. So I didn't think I needed to tell them that I was bi. Like, I never told you anything. I didn't think that mattered. But when I went on Bad Girls Club,
Right.
One thing about me is I'm free, and I love my parents, both my mother and my father, for always making me feel comfortable and confident and feeling free, like allowing myself to be whatever they do. So when I went on Bad Girls Club, I realized I'm gonna enjoy this moment and live life, you know? And I just so happened to date a bunch of women on the show. So not a bunch, but I dated my fair share of women on the show. So when I came off, before I hit the TV, I told my parents, I was like, hey, so on this show, I was dating girls, FYI, I just wanna let you guys know so you won't find out by looking at the show. That's how I told them. It wasn't like, you know, I wanna sit down and how you guys feel. I just flat out told them, but I am, after hearing so many stories of others, I am fortunate to have the parents who just, you know, who loved me and accepted whatever I brought to the table. Now, did they like it? My dad really never talked about it, but my mom, she expressed wholeheartedly, I want grandbabies. I want, you know, I want you to date a guy, da, da, da. But after a while, it's funny because after a while, it's like, well, why you don't like this girl? Why you like that girl? So I'm like, oh, she's coming around.
I love that. And look, you can be a mom, she can still have grandbabies. There's no stopping it, right?
Yeah, you learn as we go, but you know, we have to realize that that generation is much different than mine. So
right.
I'm not trying to change her mind, but just to get her to accept who I am. And it's been a breeze. I must say that it's been a breeze. Thank God for me.
Absolutely. And what do you say? Because there can even be these stigmas within our own community, people that think that bisexuality isn't real, it's not a thing, it's people that haven't made their mind up or they don't want to label them. What do you say to people that think that being bi is actually not real?
Especially to the people in the community that says that, it's like, come on, like
right.
We're already so judged outside. Like, why are we judging within who we are, you know? So that's how I feel about that. And then to the outsiders that feel like, oh, it's not real. It has to be. If that's who I am, because people are like, oh, you're confused. I'm like, I'm not confused. I like him. You know, I'm not confused. I like her. Or the craziest thing to me, Anthony, is when I'm dating a girl and someone's like, oh, so do you not like guys anymore? And I'm like, no, I like this girl. This is who I like, this person. Because if you see a straight couple and they're married, you're not gonna ask the man or the wife like, oh, well, do you not like Kevin anymore? Right. She likes Brent, whoever she's dating, you know, like how disrespectful is that? So when I'm dating a guy and they're like, oh, so you not like girls anymore? I like him.
Right.
Like, what's wrong with that? Yeah. Like, it's not rocket science. I like this person. You're confused. I'm not confused. I know I like who I'm dating. So I'm not confused. You're confused because you don't understand who I am, and that's okay.
I love that. That is so well said and so true. What is it, you know, with this show Rap Shit, which, you know, like I said, season 1 out now, HBO Max, binge it all if you haven't found it yet, or if you've already seen it, watch it again because it's that good. I would imagine you've probably also received some really cool social media messages from LGBTQ folks, maybe people of color as well, that say, you know what, this character is everything. It's helped me, or any, you know, what kind of messages have you gotten in that realm?
So when I went to an event and this dominant lesbian, we call them studs. I don't, you know, just let them know. Stud walked up to me, and she was actually white. And she come up, she said, hey, I watch Rap Shit. She said, I want to say I appreciate, you know, what you're bringing to the character. And I'm like, thanks, you know. But it caught me off guard that I'm like, wow, like I knew that this character was so important, but to be outside and someone, she had the most sincere look and she felt seen. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about, being in the community. We just, you know, everybody just want to feel seen. So for her to say that to me, it made me think like, oh damn, like this character really, you know, people needed this and we needed this and didn't know we needed, you know? Yeah. So even to see like my DMs, so many just lesbians contacted me like, yo, you bringing this to life, like you did I needed the approval from the community. Like I needed that because I'm like, damn, okay, I want the lesbians and the studs to be like, yo, she did that. I didn't want them to feel like it could have been better. It could have been this. But because I worked so hard, and I'm like, I want to embody this. I want them to feel like, okay, but she's believable. She really brought this character to life. So when I read those DMs of people just saying like what I've done for them with this character, it feels like I feel honored. But that's from this character. I still receive that from what I did on Bad Girls Club. A lot of lesbians was coming to me saying, yo, you know, because of you know what? I got a lot because I dress both, you know, I dress sometimes dominant, sometimes I'll dress up. A lot of studs was like, because of you, I decided that I want to sometimes, you know, dress feminine. But we're so judged within the community that when a stud put on heels and makeup, everyone's like, yo, why you wearing that?
Right.
It's like, why? It's backwards. Like,
why not? Because I want to, you know, exactly.
She want to. She's a woman. She felt like she wanted to be pretty today. So I got that a lot from that era of my life, that I woke that up. Like, you know, I can be a tomboy in the house, and then if I want to go out in some heels and a dress the next day, I have that right. And because I choose, this is my life, and I choose what I want to do and who I want to be. And if I want to be a bad bitch one day, then a bad bitch I'll be. And then if the next day I want to sit in the house and just be fine and a fine guy, then I'll be a fine dominant woman. That's what I'll do. I can do what I want to do because it's my life. So those DMs really make me feel like, man, like I appreciate that because I feel seen for who I am.
See, it's what it's all about. And you know, you talk the importance of this role for you. And then I think at one point you auditioned for it, but then it didn't go so well, but then you were determined to reach out. And tell us that story, because I think that's, I mean, good for you for persevering and being persistent, because you never know what would happen.
You never know. And I'm not going to recommend it. Everybody say I got lucky, whatever the case may be. But I auditioned. I did a tape, and Anthony, I looked like a tomboy. That's it. I was like a cute girl that played basketball. And my acting was mediocre. It was like I went on that tape as Jonica, you know? And that made me have a newfound respect for acting, because they didn't want Jonica. They wanted chastity. They wrote on there who they want, and you need to do your homework. So when I did the first audition, afterwards, some time went by, and I'm on my way to the club. So I got a hat to the back. I'm swagged out, but I had just did an audition, and my cameras are sitting up. Everything was on still. So I went to turn the light off and grab my phone off the tripod, and I said, nah. I hit record, and I end up saying, I was saying some crazy. I was like, you know what? If you didn't pick me, it's cool. I want to see who you pick. And I made this video, sent it to the casting director, and I sent one to Issa Rae. And I'm not thinking nothing of it. I was talking all shit, but it was like funny. I was just saying stuff like, you know, like, if you ain't pick me, I want to see who you pick. They better have swag. I should at least got a call back. I'm just saying stuff. But then I was like, you know, blessings, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I seen y'all tape. Thanks for the opportunity to even tape for you guys. I didn't think they was ever gonna look at these videos. The next day, this was like a month later. The next day, my manager hit me like, yo, you got a call back. They want to see you on tape again for that Issa Rae project from December. I said, really? Because this was in January. And she didn't know I sent that, so I'm over here panicking. Like, I called my friend, like, girl, should I delete the video? She said, nah, girl, they already seen it. So I never went to see if Issa seen it, and I never went to see if the casting director seen it. I just did another tape and sent it in. But on this tape, I got in my bag, put my hair to the back, I got swagged out. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Boom. Sent that tape in. After that, they asked me to do a Zoom with Issa, ended up booking a role. And that day, yeah, what a story. That day, I checked my DM, and the casting director did, in fact, see it. Issa had not seen it. Months go by, and the Deadline article come out that we made the show. Issa tags me, and then I DM'd something, and then she seen a DM, and she said, "Oh my God, this is my first."
Connects you then, yeah.
Connected. She said, "I have not." She's like, "I can't believe I did not save that. Oh my God." I was so embarrassed, like, oh, she just now seeing it, but you know, hey, this is me. So she loved it. It was cool.
Hey, it worked. And that's, you know, that's a good story. It's an inspiring story. We need to hear that. But Jonica, congrats, you know, and fingers crossed, season 2. Have you given a thought to what you hope might happen if season 2 happens for you, for your character?
Yes, if season 2 happens, I hope that Chastity does become, because it kind of ended with Rain or Rain, Mia, Shauna, and their manager. And I'm like, yeah, we're Chastity, you know? So right? I hope they do Chastity. Like, I hope Chastity do get the opportunity to manage them, because she put that work in all season 1, and she made she accomplished a few things for them. So I hope Chastity get the opportunity that she truly deserves. And I hope that they start respecting her a little more. You know, Chastity deserve a little respect. You know, she might be a little goofy, but she deserve a little respect. You know, she deserve more respect than that.
Duke of Miami, come on now, right?
Duke of Miami. And according to my DMs, they want to see Chastity with a love interest. I don't really know, but that's what they telling me. So
I want to see that too. I mean, who would be the dream actor to bring in for that? Who could you see playing her love interest? Let's see.
Who could be? I don't know. We should ask that question. Like, because for me, it wouldn't be an actor. It'd just be some fine girl.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be Hennessy, Cardi B's sister.
There you go. Put it out there.
She should be my acting, you know, not my Duke. She should be Jonica's boo, but she should really be Duke's. She should be in both of our lives. Yeah.
I love that. Well, let's put it out there. Jonica, it's so great to meet you. Congratulations on the series. And just a reminder, everyone, you can catch the entire first season of Rap Shit on HBO Max now.